Hi everyone, this is Simran. Welcome back to our Denial Management Learning series. In this session, we are going to talk about one of the most dangerous denial codes in medical billing, CO-197, Missing or Invalid Authorization Denial. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand what CO-197 denial actually means, why insurance companies deny claims under CO-197, and how one small front office mistake can cause a full write-off. You will learn the 5 real reasons why CO-197 happens, how to identify appealable versus non-appealable CO-197 denials, and the exact steps AR callers must follow to decide when to appeal, when to resubmit, and when to write off the claim. So let me start with a simple but very important question. What exactly is a CO-197 denial, and why does it directly impact your revenue? CO-197 is a specific denial code acts as a standardized signal from an insurance company to a medical provider. This denial code indicates that your claim has been rejected because a required permission before the treatment was missing. This permission is called pre-authorization, pre-certification, prior authorization, notification, pre-treatment approval, but the provider did not get this permission from the insurance company, or the provider did not show proof of the permission or prior authorization. For example, if a doctor performs a treatment and that treatment requires prior approval or prior authorization from the insurance company as per the contractual obligation, the provider must obtain approval from the insurance company before rendering the service. If the doctor's office fails to get that approval and still performs the treatment, then the insurance company will deny the claim and return it with CO-197 as a missing authorization denial. To understand the specific meaning of CO-197, it is first necessary to understand the prefix CO. In the language of medical billing, CO stands for Contractual Obligation. This means that the doctor or the hospital has signed a contract with the insurance company. This contract says that the doctor will follow certain rules in exchange for being part of the insurance network. One of these rules is that the doctor must handle all the paperwork for getting permission for certain treatments. When a claim is denied as CO-197, the contractual obligation part means that the provider, the doctor or hospital, is the one who must pay the price for the mistake. Under these contracts, the insurance company does not pay, and the doctor is legally prohibited from asking the patient to pay for that service. It also means the patient is not responsible for paying this amount. The doctor must write off the cost, meaning they lose the money entirely. This makes CO-197 one of the most dangerous codes for a medical office because it directly reduces revenue with no option to recover the amount from the patient. Now, let us explore the exact reasons why CO-197 denial occur. There are main 5 reasons why a CO-197 denial occurs. 1. No prior authorization obtained. 2. Prior authorization obtained but not submitted. 3. Prior authorization obtained but approval expired. 4. Procedure code not matched with approved procedure code. 5. Emergency services. No prior authorization required. Let us start with reason 1. No prior authorization obtained. No prior authorization obtained means the provider performed the service without getting approval from the insurance company, but the insurance plan clearly required prior authorization for that service. For example, a patient comes with back pain. The front office forgets to check the authorization requirement, and the doctor performs an MRI to treat the back pain. And as per the contractual obligation, an MRI requires prior authorization. But the front office did not obtain approval before the MRI was performed. In this scenario, the insurance company will clearly say, no approval before service means no payment, and they will deny the MRI claim with a CO-197 denial. In this case, the provider must write off the charges. Reason 2 is authorization obtained but not submitted. In this scenario, the provider obtained prior authorization, but the authorization number or approval proof was not sent with the claim. In simple words, the authorization exists in the system, but the biller forgot to enter the authorization number in the claim, or the biller did not attach the approval documents. When the insurance company cannot see the authorization or proof of approval in the claim, they will deny the claim as CO-197. In this case, you can resubmit the claim with the correct authorization number. You must also attach the supporting approval documents. The third CO-197 denial reason is prior authorization obtained but approval expired. This scenario occurs when the provider had prior authorization, but the service was performed after the authorization validity period ended. In simple words, this happens when prior authorization is valid only for a specific time period. For example, the prior authorization is valid from January 1st to February 15, but the procedure is performed on February 20. In this case, the provider had an expired prior authorization, and an expired authorization is treated the same as no authorization. As an AR caller, this claim must be written off. The fourth CO-197 denial scenario is procedure code, not match with approved procedure code. This type of denial occurs when provider gets approved prior authorization for one specific CPT code, but the provider performs a different CPT code. For example, a patient comes for a knee procedure. The provider obtains prior authorization for knee surgery CPT 29880, but later the doctor performs a different procedure CPT 29881 and bills CPT 29881 to the insurance company. When the insurance company checks the authorization, they see approval for CPT 29880, not CPT 29881. Because the billed CPT does not match the approved CPT, the payer denies the claim. They issue the denial as CO-197 for procedure code mismatch. From an AR point of view, this is a provider error. You can correct the procedure code and resubmit the claim, but if the authorization cannot be corrected, the claim must be written off. The fifth CO-197 denial scenario is emergency services, no prior authorization required. In the U.S. healthcare system, emergency services do not require prior authorization under federal rules. When a provider performs an emergency service, but the front desk team misses notifying or documenting the service as an emergency on the claim, in this case, insurance company does not know it was an emergency, and they deny the claim as CO-197 denial. Always remember, if procedure normally requires prior authorization, but if it was performed when the patient was admitted urgently or during an emergency room visit, in this case prior authorization is not required. As an AR caller, you can submit an appeal with the correct emergency codes and medical records that show the services were performed under emergency conditions. Now, let us explore how to fix a CO-197 denial step by step. When you see a CO-197 denial, your first step is to review the denial details carefully. Look at the EOB and the remark codes. These are smaller codes such as N290 or MA120 that give you clear clues about the denial. Always note exactly what is missing. For example, pre-certification not on file or no prior authorization. Step 2. Correct errors and add missing information. In this step, check the claim for any mistakes. The issue could be a wrong procedure code, no prior authorization obtained, prior authorization obtained but not submitted, or emergency services not properly indicated. If a prior authorization number was required and left out, obtain that number, then correct the claim and prepare it for resubmission. Step 3. Include prior authorization details if available. If you obtained prior authorization but forgot to include it on the claim, add it now. Enter the correct authorization number and attach the approval documentation before resubmitting the claim. Step 4. Obtain retroactive authorization if required. In this step, confirm whether the service truly required prior authorization. If authorization was required and not obtained, check whether the insurance company allows retroactive authorization. If allowed, submit the request immediately with proper clinical justification. Once all errors are corrected and all required information is added, collect the supporting documents such as authorization proof and medical records and submit a clear and complete appeal.
Before we wrap up this video, let me tell you when to appeal your claim, when to resubmit it, and when to write off your claim. You should always remember you can submit an appeal when prior authorization was not required, such as in emergency services, or when prior authorization was obtained but not properly reflected on the claim. In these cases, you can submit a strong appeal with medical records, emergency indicators, and with supporting proof. If prior authorization exists, but the authorization number, approval documents, or the correct procedure code were missing or entered incorrectly on the original claim. In this case, you should correct the errors, add the missing information, fix the claim, and resubmit the claim. But if prior authorization was never obtained, the authorization expired, or the billed procedure cannot be matched or corrected to an approved authorization, then the claim is not payable. In this situation, you cannot resubmit the claim and you cannot send an appeal. You must write off the claim. If you want to master claim denials and grow as an expert AR caller, this playlist is for you. I teach 30+ common medical claim denials step by step with real payer logic and job-focused techniques. No theory, no confusion, only practical denial management skills you can use immediately. Follow this playlist to learn denials correctly, fix them properly, and prevent them from coming back. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you get my videos first. If you want job updates and hands-on training material, join my WhatsApp group. Link given in the description.